My friend, the moment a woman decides she's interested in you, truly interested, she tells you with her eyes before she ever says a single word. And here's what's fascinating. Most men are looking for the wrong things. They're waiting for her to say something, to do something obvious, to make it easy. But the real signal? It already happened 3 minutes ago, and they missed it completely. If you've ever walked away from a conversation wondering, was she interested or just being polite? This video is going to change how you read every room for the rest of your life. Not with tricks, not with games, with genuine understanding of what her eyes are actually communicating at a biological level most men never learn to see. Stay with me, because the third signal I'm going to share, that one is rare. And the men who recognize it in real time, they operate in a completely different world. Here's the uncomfortable truth first. At this stage of life, most men have actually gotten worse at reading eye contact, not better. And it makes complete sense. You've been in long relationships where you didn't need to read signals anymore. You knew your partner, you had a shorthand. So that muscle went quiet. Now you're back in conversation with women, and you're either second-guessing everything, was that something or am I imagining it? Or you're missing it entirely and assuming she wasn't interested when she absolutely was. I've watched this happen. A man has a genuinely warm, deep conversation with a woman. She's engaged, she's present, her eyes are doing everything right. He walks away and says, I don't think she was feeling it. And I think, my friend, she was practically writing you a letter. That moment, that disconnect, that's what this is about. Because her eyes operate on a system that's older than language. Her nervous system is running signals she's not even consciously aware of. Behavioral researchers have observed these patterns across cultures, across age groups, across decades of study. This is not opinion. This is how female attraction actually functions at a deep biological level. So let's get into it. Signal number 1, the slow return. She looks at you, looks away, and then she looks back. Now, most men see the looks away part and think rejection, discomfort, disinterest. They actually feel a small sting of it and mentally move on. That is the mistake. The look away is not the signal. The return is the signal. When a woman feels a genuine pull towards someone, her nervous system creates a moment of self-consciousness. It's involuntary. She becomes aware of herself in your presence, and that awareness makes her look away briefly. It's not avoidance, it's the opposite. It's her reacting to something real. But here's what separates the men who understand this from the men who don't. It's the quality of the return. If she looks back within 3 to 5 seconds, and the eye contact she gives you on that return is soft, slightly longer than normal, sometimes with the smallest lift at the corner of her mouth, that is a biological green light. She's telling you without words, I felt something and I wanted to feel it again. The men who know this, they hold that second moment of eye contact calmly, confidently. They don't look away first. They don't grin nervously. They just receive it. That calm masculine presence is what she's subconsciously testing for in that exact moment. And when you pass it without even trying, she notices at a level she can't fully explain. Signal number 2. The interrupted blink. This one is subtle. This one is the signal most men never see, even men who think they're good at reading women. Pay attention to how often she blinks when she's talking to you versus when she's talking to someone she feels neutral about. I know that sounds unusual. Stay with me. When a woman is genuinely engaged, when she's experiencing attraction or deep connection, her blink rate actually slows down. The eyes stay open slightly longer between blinks. Researchers observing nonverbal behavior have documented this across multiple contexts. It's her nervous system in a state of heightened focus. She is, without knowing it, trying to take more of you in. Combined with this, watch for what I call the interrupted blink, where she starts to blink, catches herself, and holds eye contact just a half second longer than natural. It happens in the middle of a real moment, when you've said something that landed, when there's a silence that felt comfortable instead of awkward, when emotional safety is present between two people. My friend, if you've ever had a conversation where the silences felt good, where neither of you rushed to fill them, and you noticed her eyes staying on yours a beat longer than expected, That was this signal. That was her nervous system telling you something her words hadn't gotten to yet. And most men, they rushed to fill that silence with more words. They broke the moment. They didn't know what they were holding. Now, I told you I was saving the most powerful signal for the end, and I am. But before we get there, I want you to think about a specific woman, someone you've spoken to recently, or someone you're going to speak to soon, because what I'm about to share changes how that conversation goes. Signal number 3. This is the one, the soft refocus. Here's the scene. You're in conversation. There are other people nearby. Noise, movement, the normal texture of a social environment. And at some point, her eyes leave yours for a moment. She glances away, at nothing in particular. Maybe at the room, maybe at her drink. And then she looks back at you. Not because you said anything, not because you touched her arm or called her name. She just came back, on her own, without a prompt. My friend, that is the most unguarded signal a woman can send. Because in that moment, she wasn't performing. She wasn't being polite. She wasn't responding to social pressure. She looked away, fully free to stay away, and something pulled her eyes back to your face. That pull? That's mature attraction operating at its deepest level. That's her subconscious saying, "This is where I want to be looking." Behavioral science has observed this voluntary refocus pattern as one of the most reliable nonverbal indicators of genuine interest, precisely because it requires no trigger. It's unprompted. It's honest. What she's really looking for in that moment, what every refocus is quietly asking, is whether you're still there, whether you're calm, whether your presence feels safe and real. The men who understand this don't flinch. They don't perform. They simply exist in that moment with confidence. And she feels it. She may not be able to name what she's feeling, but she feels it. That is the difference between a man who gets callbacks and a man who wonders what went wrong. Not charm, not status, not clever conversation. A calm, grounded presence that makes her eyes want to return. This is what she's telling you without words. This is the unspoken language of real attraction, and now you know how to read it. Here's what I want you to take from this. Not a system, not a checklist, just an awareness. When you're next in conversation with a woman you're genuinely curious about, watch for the slow return, the interrupted blink, and the unprompted refocus. You don't need to do anything differently. You just need to see what was already there. Because at this stage of life, the men who attract deeply aren't the loudest in the room. They're the ones who are fully present, who notice, who understand, and who never need to chase because they know how to read what's being offered. If this kind of understanding is what you're looking for, the real, quiet, powerful stuff, hit subscribe. Because this channel exists so more men can access this level of awareness. You deserve to walk into every room knowing what's actually being communicated around you. And in the next video, we're going into something even deeper. The 5 things a woman does in the first 10 minutes of conversation that tell you, with complete accuracy, how she feels about you. Most men wait weeks to figure this out. You'll know by the end of the first coffee. Now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, which of these 3 signals surprised you most? The slow return, the interrupted blink, or the soft refocus? Let me know, because your answer tells me exactly what to cover next.